welcome back to Design Bundle's YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Crystal. Today we are going to be making this water bottle. This is Sublimation, and this is a sublimatable water bottle. You can get these in glitter, holographic, but I'm going to be using this white one here today. So the very first thing that we want to do is remove our cap here, very important, and that's why I'm going straight to this information. Because if you do not, this will melt on there, this little bitty ring right here. So step one, water bottle, remove the top. All right, so we've got our water bottle here, as well as our design. So this is the design we're using today. This is a PNG from Design Bundles. And then this one right here is a font that we have called Artichoke. And then I took it inside of DesignScape and did this little rainbow effect here. So I'm gonna take you guys over to DesignScape really quick so I can show you how I designed it. Starting off over on designbundles.net, this is going to be the file that we are using today. This is a super cute senior PNG, so whether you guys are trying to make a last minute senior gift or whether you guys are watching this in 2023, you know, so on and so forth. So I really love this design, and if you guys are a Plus member, it is only 1 Plus credit. So we're going to be using this one today along with this Artichoke font. Now this Artichoke font is one of my absolute favorites right now, and it is also 1 Plus credit. Now I also want to point out that today we are using DesignScape. So DesignScape is a software that we can use to create different designs for whether you are doing sublimation or a Glowforge, SVGs, PNGs, you know, things like that for your Cricut and Silhouette. So today I'm going to show you how I can design both of these to print out on the same paper for our sublimation printers, whether you guys have an Epson or whether you guys have a Sawgrass. Now with Epson, you know that there is no design software, so this DesignScape would be perfect for this. And then with Sawgrass, you can actually do drag and drop into a smart folder on your desktop. So the very first thing that we want to do is we want to come up to File, and then we want to create a blank canvas. So the blank canvas size that I'm wanting to work with is 8.5 by 11 because I'm going to be printing these out on an 8.5 by 11 paper. If you guys were printing design, say for example on 11 by 17, you would want to choose those settings as well. So what we're going to do is go to File, we're going to go to New, and then we are going to come down to where it says print. So when you click on print, you're going to have some of these already custom sizes for you. So for example, one of those is the letter 8.5 by 11. Also, you can see the 11 by 17 is here as well. Now, if you don't see your size, you can also create your custom size up here as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose letter, and then I'm going to hit create. So as you guys can see, we have our blank canvas ready to go. So let's go ahead and bring in our first file, which is our PNG. So we're going to come up here to File, and what you want to choose is Open and Place. So we're going to choose this, and then I'm going to search for my file. So what I'm going to do is go to Downloads. I'm going to start to type out Senior. And then from here, I'm going to click on my file and click on Upload. So one of the very first things we need to do once this comes in is obviously resize it. Now you can put in your exact dimensions if you want to. So say for example, I was wanting to cut this out 4.5 inches. I would definitely just size it down to the 4.5 inches. But you can also just hold down the Shift button on your keyboard or your laptop. So Shift, and then you're going to grab one of these corners right here. It doesn't matter which one. And then we're going to hold down that Shift, and we're going to drag it to resize it. So you can resize this to whatever you need. Now, I know that my paper is an 8.5 wide, and so I want it just a little bit less than the 8.5. So I'll just go a little bit less than half of the page here. So I'm going to go ahead and get this up at the top corner if I want it to print wherever I want it to print. So I'm going to go ahead and go right up here in my corner. And then now we're ready to design out our name. So to do that, we need to bring in our font from Design Bundles. So I've already downloaded Artichoke. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the T over here, our text button. Up here at the top, you can click here to search for your script. Now, if you haven't already downloaded your font, all you need to do is go to Load Font. And then you can simply search your computer. I would once again go to Downloads. I would start to type out the Artichoke, see it pop up, click it, and then I would click Upload. And then it would bring it in here. So once you have it downloaded, all you simply got to do is you can click on Find, start to type it out, and then you'll be able to select it. You can also favorite it by turning on the star, so you can then just go to your favorites and it's going to pop right up. All right, so we've already chose our artichoke, so now we can start to type everything out. So I'm going to go ahead and click here on the canvas, and I'm going to start to type out the name. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. All right, there we go. Now, to resize this even further, you can do this right up here at the top, or make sure you have everything selected. You can do that right here like so, or you can hit your check mark. And then what you want to do is come right over here to your move tool. And then you want to make sure that this little check mark is clicked, the transform controls. So if you ever notice you don't have these squares to resize, you just want to make sure that this check mark is on. So from here, we can hold down our shift button once again, and we can resize this to whatever we would like. Now I want this to be about the same size as my senior design, so that way they're the same size on each side of my cut. So I may need to size that just a little bit more. Now to change the color of this, you can definitely just come down here to the bottom where it says EFF, and then we can come to color overlay, and then I could go ahead and change my color. So if I wanted it to be, you know, for example, this blue color right here, I would hit OK, and then we would hit OK. I'm going to go ahead and select it like so, go back into that EFF, color overlay, and then I'm going to change this to normal. There we go. So I have it on normal, and then we're going to hit OK. So you're able to change those colors there. So once again, go to that EFF, color overlay, and then you could, you know, you're going to click on your box here. You're going to click on your box right here. Now, depending on, say for example, I have it over here in the pastels, I could definitely just go up and down this area here to change those quickly to stay within that color realm. So say for example, if I really wanted them like a neon, I would do the same thing and it's going to stay within that color field. So I really love that as well. Now, another thing that you definitely can do as well is hit OK. We can go over here to multiple, so multiply, if you will. So say, for example, if we wanted to have a gradient overlay, I'm going to check it here, we can definitely do so. So as you guys can see here, we have a gradient. Now, if I wanted those to match my senior here, we could do the same thing by clicking our box here, and we could definitely work with those colors here to kind of work with those. Hit OK. But if we want to individualize our, trying to figure out, if we want to definitely focus on each pinpoint, we can click on our overlay right here, gradient overlay. Click on right here. Now these little bitty squares are each of these individual colors. So say for example, I want to change this blue. I'm going to click on it here, click on that color, and then I could come in here and change that blue just like so. Or maybe I even want to change it all the way down to the green, etc. I can do whatever I needed to do there. And I could do that for each color. So I could go ahead and click on this pink here. And then maybe I'm going to change that to this blue right here. I'm going to hit OK. So you could do this for each one. I can even add more points if I wanted to. So I added another color in here. And then I'm going to go ahead and maybe add in like this little orange here just to show you. Just like so, and hit OK. So you can really focus on these once again to play around with these to get it exactly the way that you wanted. So if I wanted like this really bright pink up here, hit OK. OK, just like that. So we're going to go ahead and get ready to save this. So once you're happy with everything, what you're going to simply do is we're going to go to layers, and then I'm going to, you can just flatten your image to make it all on one, because you notice we've got different layers here, or we can start to merge them down. I'm just going to flatten the layers, and then from here I could go ahead and just click on this PNG here, and it's going to go ahead and save it to my computer. So if I go ahead and click up here, I'm going to double click. And as you guys can see, this is ready to print. So from here, you're going to go to your normal print settings. So if I was printing it with an Epson, I would just go to File right up here and go to Print. If I was going to drag and drop this to my computer folder for the Smart folder for Sawgrass, I would go ahead and grab that folder and just drop it right into that Smart folder. So let's go ahead and get ready to make our project. All right, so now that we are back, so here's this. We've printed it out, ready to go. Everything is mirrored. I've got some heat tape as well as a pair of scissors and then a clean cloth. Now I'm using my Tumbler Press today. It is at 375 for 60 seconds. Now before you get started and before I heated it up, I really should have tested my pressure. So what you want to do is stick your bottle inside and then just kind of play around with it until you get the pressure where you want it to be. So I need to bring these in a little bit more, pop this guy back in here and press. So I think this is good to go. And then we are going to get ready to apply this. I'm gonna let this cool back down for just a second because now it's at 375 and we're gonna be ready. So what we're gonna be doing is I'm actually going to trim this guy in half here. Now another option that you can do is you can actually use a convection oven with Sublimate. Sublimate looks just like this, and what you're simply going to do is you would take it over once you have everything, you know, your design on your bottle, and you would place this right over this. You don't need a heat gun or anything. You would place it just like so into the convection oven, and then it would start to shrink around itself. You could see that here with that heat. It was already starting to do the process. So, so you could definitely use Sublimate with a convection oven for this process. You can't really do this in a mug press like the Cricut mug press because it's only going to go down so far. Now, if I had a standard mug press like this, my design's actually only right here. We could actually slide this into a regular mug press like this. You could do that as well. But like I said, I'm doing my Tumbler Press today. So I've got my design ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to start taping everything down. And I'm actually going to go ahead and trim this side down just a little bit more because what I'm trying to avoid here is I do have a curve. These water bottles have curves right here, so I want to make sure and avoid that. I just want to stick within this area right here for this, this particular design. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'll trim off this side right here. So I'm going to do one on each side. So let's start off with senior. So the one thing that you want to figure out is which way are you wanting your design to be? In this direction here, where, for example, it's going to read out senior in this direction, or do you want it to read out senior in this direction? So whichever way you're wanting that to go, I'm going to have both my name and my design in the same direction. So I'm going to go ahead and take a couple pieces of tape here. I think we are cooled back down. And I'm going to have mine read senior in this direction here. So I'm going to go ahead and line this guy up right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and tape one side down just like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and tape down the other side. For this one, I'm going to go ahead and add some tape to the top and the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now I'll just get a little piece of tape here. And actually, I don't think I'm going to because it's going to want to curve on me. So I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this one here. Go ahead and add another little piece here and here. And I think I'll do the same to the other side. All right, there we go. So we've got it all the way down, just like so. And this should press out whenever we have it in there. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm trying to remember, I think I have senior in this direction. So I'm going to do the same thing. So we are going to have the name. I'm trying to make sure it's directly on the opposite side, just like so. Go ahead and get my heat tape here. Try to get two more longer pieces. I'll start out with one here just to get it taped down. Just trying to make sure I'm directly on the other side. We are going to carefully tape down one side and then get us another piece of tape and do the same to the other side. All right, just like so. So I think that looks good. I may come back. I think I'm going to add just a tiny piece here and we are good to go. All right. Now, because this is not a full wrap, if it was a full wrap design, obviously halfway through, so we got 60 seconds, another 60 seconds, we would flip it over and get the other side because of a seam. This one, we don't have to worry about it because it's on either side. So I'm just going to slide this little guy in just like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and press. So from here, I'm going to hit my timer and we're going to let this go for 60 seconds. All right, so now that we are getting close, I'm going to go ahead and pop on my heat gloves because this is going to be quite hot. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and pop this guy open. And we should be good to go. So we've got our designs here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is peel. Just like that. Look at how cute this is. So I'm going to go ahead and get the opposite side here, kind of getting some of that tape off. So you really just need to strip all the way down on both sides, just like so. There you have it. How super cute is this? Senior, and then this one right here. So you could definitely feel free to match these up like I showed you guys. You could definitely do this in black if you wanted to. Whatever you wanted to do. Now, something that I thought was really, really cool, and I may come back in another tutorial. If we do, we'll link it down below later. I think what I may do is come back with some UV resin and some color in that. I may put some mica or something and do like some drips coming down here. Or even I thought about doing some splatters all over to kind of get like a design up here at the top. So I really love how this little ombre effect came out too. Super cute along with that design. The very last thing you have to do is to replace your little cap. Now you want to let this guy completely cool down before you put this cap on. Once again, this could melt, but my top is cold right here and I'm just showing you guys for demo purposes, and just get that back on so you guys can see it completed. So super duper cute, whether you guys are making these in 2022 or whether you're making them in 2030. This design is an amazing one. I think it's super adorable. This would be super cute on a coffee mug as well as a t-shirt. Lots of different things that you guys can do with this guy. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one.